Let's talk about fillers or crutch words. Now, fillers or crutch words are words that you and I might be using a lot of times, including these sort of sounds that you make when you have a thought block, or sometimes even the words like then and all of these, like basically and all that. So these kind of help with the flow of speaking when you're speaking, but even though it is helpful at one point, it can be really annoying if you overuse them, which is why you have to decrease the use of fillers. Now, one thing I want you to keep in your mind is that you can't completely eliminate the use of fillers. That's almost impossible, and fillers are something that's there in every single language out there, and everybody uses it. You can't find a single soul on the planet who doesn't completely use fillers. But the only point when it becomes annoying and when you have to consciously put an effort in order to decrease the use of fillers is when you're overusing fillers, and if you're especially using just a single form of filler. So the first thing that you have to keep in mind is that in case if you're somebody who uses fillers, make sure that you convert this or you utilize this thing called fillers in order to sound more fluent, because fillers, if used properly, can make you sound more fluent. So the first thing that you have to keep in mind to do so is to mix up a lot of different fillers rather than sticking on to just a single type of filler. So if you're just saying like a million times, then that can be really annoying, or if you're just saying a million times, then that can be annoying. But if you mix up all the fillers out there and then make a really subtle, if you start speaking in a subtle way where your fillers go unnoticed, you can actually sound more fluent without being annoying, and you'll get a lot of time to think about what you need to say, because that is the main purpose of fillers. Because if you look at it, fillers are used when in two different circumstances. So the first one being when you're not fluent in a language, so you need some time to think about the words that you need to use, and the second scenario where you're completely fluent in the language, but then still you can't think of what you have to say next. So when you have a thought block, or when you need to rethink about what you're saying. So these are the kind of scenarios where you tend to use fillers. So make sure you mix up your search for different fillers, and then try to have a nice variety of fillers when you're trying to speak. And I'm also going to tell you guys, in case if you're somebody who overuses fillers, then here is a 2-step exercise that you can do in order to decrease the number of times that you're using filler words. So the first thing is to be conscious about the kind of fillers that you're using. So what you can probably do is pay attention to how you're speaking, and then figure out what are the kind of fillers that you're continuously using. So that way you will know what to eliminate. And in case if you can't pay attention to how you're speaking and the kind of fillers that you're using, then at least record a video of yourself speaking, and then you can figure out the kind of fillers that you're continuously using. And then what you need to do is, once you know these are the kind of fillers that I'm continuously using, say you're using like a lot, like the word like, you're saying, I used to hate the dog that is there in my neighborhood. I used to hate if you use so many likes, then that is when it becomes annoying. So if you're somebody who uses likes that much, then what you need to do is the second step that I want to talk about in this 2-step exercise, which is the pause technique. Now again, the pause technique is when you actually take a pause, like if you have to actually pause when you get the trigger of when you know that you're about to use a filler word. So in case because fillers again are completely useless, it's just there for the sake of being there, just so that you get some time in order to think about what you need to say. So even if you completely eliminate fillers from a sentence, then still it will make perfect sense. So it's not essential for it to be there in a sentence to make sense. So you can completely eliminate that off. So if you're using, say, like a lot, then whenever you feel like you're going to use the word like, take a pause and then complete the sentence by skipping that like. So we talked about an example sentence. What was it? Like the dog. I don't remember the sentence that I told right now, but let's make up a sentence again for your reference. So say if you're saying, I hate the neighborhood dog, okay? Or I hate my neighborhood dog. If this is the sentence that you're saying, then in case if you're saying it like this, if you're saying like, I hate the neighborhood dog, I hate that. So if you're making such an extended version of such a short sentence that I hate my neighborhood dog, then even if you take out all the fillers, it still makes perfect sense. So try to pause whenever you're about to use that like, and you can say if you're using I hate the and then you can take the pause and then the neighborhood dog. Just take a small break. You know, that small break is all that you need actually in order to think about what you need to say next. So take that break instead of using a lot of fillers, and that way you will be able to decrease the use of fillers. Again, try to decrease the use of fillers and try to use fillers in an efficient way where you're mixing up different fillers so that it goes unnoticed and it doesn't become annoying. So I hope you understood. First of all, you have to mix up the fillers so that it becomes unnoticed, where the application is really subtle and it makes you look more fluent as well if you use it the right way. And secondly, in case you're overusing a filler, then go ahead and do the two-step process that I talked about, where you're conscious about the kind of fillers that you're using and where you try to do the pause technique in order to eliminate the use of filler in that particular circumstance. So I hope this video was helpful, and in case if you want to know more about the course that we provide at English House, then please do go ahead and click on the link below. Thank you so much for watching.
English House, English at your fingertips.